Hey yo, it is hot right now. The temperature is hot because of the cold in Minnesota. If you get what I'm trying to say, if I'm saying, man, and the RIP to the lady. Uh man. Anyway, welcome to the show, man. Show boy Almighty. And we got a few topics. Got through, you know what I mean? We got T-Pain in here. We got Ray J in here. We got Zion Williamson in here. And of course, we got Minnesota in here. We're going to start off with Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to try to, you know what I mean? Not no political wave or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Just keeping it human, right? Keeping it human. You already know my brand. It's all about empathy. You know what I'm saying? If y'all see what's going on in Minnesota and all that good stuff with the ICE stuff, lady just got, what I'm saying, hit. You feel what I'm saying? And the video's going everywhere. It's quite unfortunate, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of mixed feelings, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of mixed feelings. People feel like, you know what I'm saying? Some people feel like, you know what I'm saying, of course, deadly force was crazy. Why would they use deadly force? Well, some other people feel like she, interfered with federal government, agents, and what I mean, technically breaking the law by interrupting, and it's just a whole lot of mixed things. Me, I'm gonna start by saying RIP to her, and condolences to the family. You know what I'm saying? It was a white lady though, and that's the thing now. I'm like, okay, this is a white lady, so let's see. And of course, the media's going crazy. So it's a white lady. It's the code. The ICE agents. So you already know. You know what I mean? And if you see the, watching the video and all that, her car was about to hit him, and then from another video, I've seen a couple of videos from different angles. The car actually might have actually hit him, and he kind of jolted and then pulled it, blam blam. And a lot of people are like, bro, if anything, why would you not just use one shot? You know what I mean? Why did you multiple shots? You know what I'm saying? And so on and so forth. And my whole thing, is just a tragedy. Period. Like I mean, when I seen the situation, I mean, generally, I personally feel like if you can't handle the extra, in life, I don't think you should work in any security gig. You know what I'm saying? Recently, last month, I applied for the security gig. You know what I mean, at a bar, at a dive bar. And while I was there, because I've worked a lot of security gigs in the past, you know what I'm saying, and like worked with, a lot of security. I'm gonna just say that. So I remember, during the interview, the guy was like telling me, you know what I'm saying, like it's out here in the Hollywood areas. The guy was telling me how, like, it was like, yo, he was like, man, it might get crazy where people might use the N word or, get racially, crazy. And I'm like, yeah, I've worked a lot of security detail, you know what I'm saying? And, one time is okay, you might hear that, what I mean, you got to be professional. But you hear it multiple times. I'm like, and I told him that. I was like, it depends on the frequency and, what I'm saying, the magnitude of it. I'm just be honest, you know what I'm saying? The first I heard it one time, I can probably keep, but if the person is I'm trying to, and it was one of them security details where you can't, or security jobs, where you can't, be physical with anybody. You kind of gotta, let the police call, all that good stuff. So I was just like, yeah, if that's the case, I don't know how well I would do here because you're not giving me that much of an option. I'm not about to devalue myself, what I mean, just because of money, what I mean, respectfully, what I mean, and all that good stuff. But I talked to them, but long story short, similar thing with this, with this situation, bro, what I'm saying, and when you look at this situation, it's like, bro, as a security officer, you have to know, you can't just use deadly force. And yeah, they say, they consider a car a weapon, you know what I mean? But if you're being realistic, it's snow everywhere, it's ice, and when I'm saying ice, I mean literally, it's ice on the floor. So, the car can break down and all that good stuff. What's good? So the car can slide and all that stuff. So that's a factor. You should, what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, do you consider these things, what I mean? Because deadly force is crazy. You could just let the person zoom off. You could just step to the side, let the person zoom off. But I understand, psychologically, they've been receiving a lot of negative feedback because, I guess Minnesota or the area has not been supporting them, how ICE is being treated for, a lot of parts that have immigrants in, they're not really welcome, and so boom, boom. So this looking at it from multiple perspectives, as I do on this channel, you can see why bruh, want to take action. Now, deadly force, I don't agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Because realistically, no matter how you feel, like the thing is just, is me personally, I don't think it's right. I don't think she was right. I don't think he was right. I'm just being honest with you, right? The reason why I say she wasn't right because she, I mean, they gave, if you watch the videos, they told her, get out the car, stop, all this, whatever it is, and she zoomed off and she was about to take off. Now, some people say if that was a black person, this would be, it's a regular thing in a sense that, they, shit, it happens a lot where, they tell you get out, you don't obey, they just, start unloading on you. Not a lot, not every black person, you get what I'm saying, but, frequency wise. So you get what I mean. So, so people are looking at it with all these, there's so many perspectives. The one thing we can say for sure, it's a tragedy, period. And, I've seen a lot of people say, say the government, who has more jurisdiction, the government or the state, all the good stuff and all that. Realistically, from what I understand about government, which I don't know nothing about nothing, so don't take my word for it. From politics, what I understand about politics, the state is underneath the federal government. The federal government, is the union government. You can think about like the UN as opposed to each individual country. You know what I'm saying? And when the UN says something, each country, you have a choice to not obey, but this is the UN. Everybody is it. You know what I mean? You don't obey, then the pressure of everybody, the joint community comes down on you. So for me, the situation, it's it's sad. It's sad. You know what I mean? But when I was watching, I'm gonna be honest. That's I'm gonna be honest. That's another perspective. You know what I mean? When I looked at this, I was just like, if this is how people feel, I feel like this is where this, not to be, not to just say it, throwing out there. This is where like the organizations or the associations, what I'm saying, that are, like I'm talking about like the gangs or all that good stuff. This is where they come to play. They're supposed to be the police of the neighborhood or security, right? The security force of the neighborhood, right? That's the idea. At least that was the original idea, right? This is where they should have come to play, where they will stand up and be like, hey, yo, hey, this happened right now. Tell everybody go it, and but that was just on some utopian, dystopian world type shit. But this is a tragedy though. And so RIP to the lady, because I heard she's a mother. And as I said, I just I wish everybody be careful. Stand for what you believe. You know what I'm saying? No matter what anybody else thinks is wrong, what I think is wrong or right, stand for what you believe. You know what I'm saying? But also consider, like I always tell you on this channel, don't hurt nobody, don't hurt yourself, because when you hurt yourself, you're hurting people that care about you. You know what I mean? And for me, that's what I think being good is. As long as you're not hurting nobody and you're not hurting yourself, I think you're good. You're a good person. Now, you doing that, of course, you can't, in this life, you can't, control, what I mean? People might emotionally get hurt where you want them to be, you get what I mean? Purposefully, as long as you're not intentionally trying to hurt nobody, I feel in life, that's you being as good as you can. So condolences to the lady and, and her family, condolences to her family, and RIP to the lady, you know what I'm saying? And this ICE situation is, yeah, it's one of those. But I mean, realistically, this is the reality that the U.S. has to deal with for the tenure. And I mean, as long man, it's a sad thing. It's a sad thing. Anyway, in good news, you know what I'm saying? In good news, welcome. What's good, Chris? What's good, Chris? In good news, T-Pain just bought a jet for him and his family. And bro, I was watching that thing and I'm like, bro, this man bought a jet for his family, dog. His mother is like, what? And I'm like, bro, that goals. I mean, hella goals, super hella goals. Like, that's the goal right there for me, dog. That's the goal for me, dog. I mean, I literally, I know, like, that's one of my goals. Like, it's not even about the jet part. It's about, it's more about like just riches and just spoiling my mother, my father. Like, my father, generally, my father doesn't really care. I ain't gonna lie to you, but my mother, you know what I mean? Spoiling her, like just spoiling the out of her. You know what I mean? Like, that's my whole plan. Like, once I get like, oh man, like, so when I seen the video, man, I'm just like, damn, T-Pain doing it, man. You know what I'm saying? And mind you, you know what I'm saying, he's making all this money, doing all this stuff as an artist, like a creative. So I always love to support creatives. That's another thing, another purpose of my channel is to support people that do non-conventional things, especially artistic stuff, creative stuff, right? There's a lot of support for business work, go to school, do all that. There's a lot of that, but people don't support artists a lot. And one of my things, my brand is to support artists, a lot of creatives. By the way, if you're an artist and creative, you want to do an interview with me, let me know. Reach out to me on Instagram and stuff like that, and we can set up an interview. You know what I mean? But yeah. So I love to support. He made all this money, multi-millionaire, buying a jet, which probably cost him maybe 40, 50 million. You know what I'm saying? And to maintain it probably costs him every year maybe 2 to, however million. You know what I mean? But now he, you know what I mean? And he can afford it. He's not stupid. I'm not. You can see how long it took him to buy the thing. He can afford it. If you follow T-Pain stuff, you can see he can afford it, right? He got his family up in there, and he did all this through creativity. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes non-conventional means, like if you follow T-Pain's story, you know what I'm saying? He sold like catalog and all that. You know what I'm saying? So my point to what I'm trying to say is, if you're a creative, you someone that's artistic, and you know what I'm saying, you know what I mean? Look, give it a shot. Use that your talent. Not just creatives, whatever your talent is, give it a shot, man. Like I truly believe inside of me that your talent is what you're supposed to make a living out of. Like that thing that you love to do, that is the thing that you're supposed to make a living out of. Your talent, or that thing you love to, realistically, your talent usually falls along with what you love to do. And if you love something that you're not good at, you work hard at it, you tend to, that very drive of wanting that thing tends to make you better at it with time. So either way. But my point is, that thing, if you do that, you get to devote more of your time and your life. It doesn't feel like a job. You know what I'm saying? I know the world has been set up in a way where it makes you feel like everybody, realistically, yeah, you got to survive. I got to get it now. I feel like for us to change that, because truly and honestly, that is a bad way to live. Like where you're just taking a job to survive just based on, it's a terrible way to live, right? And if you check some cultures out, like if you like the Asian culture, to be specific, I'm talking about like the Japanese culture, where they believe there's spirits in everything. So they devote fullness into whatever they do. Even if it's the simplistic work, they devote fullness into it because they believe in respecting that spirit, even if it's this right here. There's a spirit in this. That's what everything has a spirit. So if I'm nice to this will always be good to me. That's I'm pretty sure I'm right. I'm very sure. I'm into Japanese culture. But what I'm talking about, they devote that much time into everything, and you can see how they live, right? So my point, what I'm trying to say is, like, if we can live like that, right? You know what I'm saying? Devoting, bro, come on, bro. You feel me? No matter what, bro, man, you be on top. Live your life. Just I know. I be going off on tangents, twisting, turning, pause. Crazy. My whole point to what I'm trying to say is chase your, you know what I'm saying? This life, bro, you go all in to something. You can only devote yourself fully into something you care about. And when you can devote yourself fully into what you care about is when you can benefit from it. You know what I'm saying? And we should just live like that, because that's the best results. You know what I'm saying? Even if you get, you know what I mean, a little step feels like a huge step because you love it. If it's something that you don't love, even if you take 1,000 steps, you feel like you just, man, I don't fucking want to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? But my point is, chase your passion, bro. You know what I'm saying? You might be a millionaire, the next millionaire, or maybe the next thousandaire. Some of us don't want to be millionaires. Some of us want to be thousandaires. Some of us just want to be comfortable. Some of us just want to live off the line. And then while some of us want to be trillionaires, gazillionaires. You know what I'm saying? So my whole thing is that I always support, you know what I'm saying, use your talent, chase your passion. All right. And congrats to old boy, man. Shout out T-Pain, man, for real. Okay. Now, I see, man, bruh, Zion Williamson, bro. Zion Williamson. Man. By the way, all the topics I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, of course, you're going to see them pinned in the description and, of course, pinned in the comments. Zion Williamson, bro. This nigga hasn't learned his lesson, bro. You know what I mean? And shout out to, bro. You know, we all, as I say, you know, on here, no knocking nobody. We all make mistakes, and we constantly make, you know what I mean? The idea is just not to keep making the same mistakes. Another OF model done came out trying to expose, bro. You know what I'm saying? Posting how much, bro, you know, sent her, you know what I'm saying? if you remember before who it was, you know what I'm saying? I've reacted to it in the past. I ain't even about to get on all that, you know what I'm saying? But Zion Williamson's previous, everybody should know by now. But yeah, currently right now you got another OF model, you know what I mean? And I don't know why Bruh keeps messing with OF model. Some people prefer to mess with people they can pay, you know what I'm saying, so they don't have to deal with, the emotional baggage. Like realistically, like I've seen a few videos, few things where they be like, where the rich folk be, or whatever, the person be like, yo, like I rather, I think it was Kanye that said, see, I'd rather pay for, pay for the chick, you know what I'm saying, to smash, knowing that that's what it is. Instead of going through the whole emotional roller coaster of dating somebody and they might want this and they want you to, they're trying to, you know what I mean? So some people might be like that. Maybe that's why bro is doing it. Perspective. Or maybe it's a whole spinning game. I really don't. I can't tell because I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Before it was this Mariah Mills chick. I guess I said her name. I was trying not to say it, but I said it. But before it was a Mariah Mills chick, and now is this chick, and I'm just like, why? Who knows how many? I mean, these are the two we know. Maybe there's more. You know what I mean? There's more respectful and more hush hush about. But why is bro messing with OF models though? Like, dog, like, I mean, he's young. You know what I'm saying? He's young. You know what I mean? He's rich. I don't know. But his bread. He can do whatever the fuck he wants to. You know what I mean? But, But these people trying to expose him, though. You know what I mean? Like, then again, he probably doesn't give a F. You know what I'm saying? Because if he did give a F, I don't think he would keep messing with him. Because after the first one, he probably learned stuff. Maybe after this one, he might. Or he just doesn't care. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, realistically, he'd be like, hey, you know what I mean? 2 racks. But, I've always said, bro, once you can put a price on your body part, this thing that was given to you by the gods, by nature, by the cosmos, that nobody can, price. Something that it should be priceless. That if you even giving it, you should be giving it to somebody you trust. Like I'm talking about, like a part of yourself, regardless of what it is, whether it's transplants, sexually, whatever. You should be giving it to someone that you value enough. You know what I'm saying? That because this thing was given to you. It's a valuable thing. It's not something you should put a price on. Fine, people put a price on their body parts and all that good stuff, and then you wonder later on, you try to raise yourself like, man, I'm a this. No, you're not this. You are a 2,000 or this thousand dollar, because that's what I mean. That's, you've basically put a price on something that should be priceless. You know what I'm saying? So when people treat you like an item, understand that you did that to yourself. Nobody, like, I'm not saying it's right for them to treat you like that, but you are telling them to treat you like that by making yourself, what's it called? Something that someone can purchase, no matter for what time, right? Some people say, oh, what about when you work in a job? If someone's hiring you, it's a job, dog. And if you feel that way, that's cool. Then don't go to the job, create your own job. That's also fine. Have we? I don't knock anybody. Like, this is just my belief, my ideal, my ideology, right? I'm not right. I'm not wrong. I'm just talking about how I think about things. I might change the way I feel about it tomorrow. Evolution is always a thing. So, I mean, you can't, but this is just what I think about right now. You know what I mean? So it's like, bro, like, I don't think you should, this thing is invaluable. This, I don't know, man. That's why, when ladies talk about, I gave you myself and all that good stuff. A man gave you himself too. It takes two to tango. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, oh, girl, you gonna date him for free? For free? So you want them to pay you for they say you pay for your time. Are you gonna pay me for my time? Oh no, but you want me. I don't want you. Okay. Fair point. For now, I ain't got no rebuttal to that. Maybe tomorrow I might, maybe later on I might. Who knows? You know what I mean? That's why I say everybody should just mind their business. In the sense of, like, if you don't want that, don't go there. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. You know what I mean? If you don't want that, don't go there. You know what I mean? Like, as I'm reacting to people right now, if someone reacts to me, cool. Because, you know what I mean? I react to people. You know what I'm saying? That's just, if you don't want it, don't go there. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. Shout out to Zion, man. Hopefully, you know what I mean? And shout out to old girl too. Lastly, man. That boy, Ray J, man. That boy Ray J got hospitalized for a serious case of pneumonia, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Prayers to bruh, hoping for speedy recovery. Man, pneumonia. If you don't know what pneumonia is basically when there's a clog in your lungs. Your lungs is how you're breathing. You know what I'm saying? Your heart is what's, it's like, think about it like it's what's pumping blood. Your heart pumps blood. Airways, the equivalent of that is your lungs, right? So when your lungs get filled with mucus and fluids and stuff like that, that's what pneumonia is, which makes it harder for you to breathe. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. Breathing, it's not, filtration is not only happening here. You know what I'm saying? Filtration is happening here. There's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Your boy is pre-med in school. You know what I'm saying? Graduated about it, whatever. That's not the point. The point, what I'm trying to say is, bro, it's a serious thing. Pneumonia is, and when you have a serious case of pneumonia, it's pretty serious. You know what I'm saying? So praise the bro. You know what I mean? Bro, like this is serious. You know what I mean? Like on some personal ish, I almost lost my mom to pneumonia like a few months ago. You know what I'm saying? Like real shit. Like it's a serious thing. Pneumonia ain't no joke. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's so prayers for bro. You know what I mean? Like it's one of them things that you gotta be careful too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's real shit. Pneumonia ain't no joke. Pneumonia is no joke. Like that, you know what I mean? And that's, hopefully bro can, after this brush with death, you know what I'm saying, or you can't say it's death realistically, but as I said, it's a serious case. Like even if he, he doesn't get that close, but this brush with illness, I don't know if y'all feel, me personally, I could say, bro, when I get really sick, bro, I be feeling like I'm about to die. Like real shit. I'll be like, bro. Like, I mean, literally, it really just feel like, oh man, I'm talking about serious illness. I'm talking about this, like, bro, yo, and if you've never been that sick before, thank your stars, be grateful, bro. But yo, those of us that actually been that sick, I really do feel like, when you get that sick, you are that close. You know what I'm saying? Like any fuck up, any follow up at that point in time, you know what I mean? You might just cross over. And it ain't no bullshit, you know what I'm saying? And hey, you know what I mean? But nah though, hopefully him going through this would, get him to adjust, you know what I'm saying? Maybe the drinking might be the issue. I don't know if bro's doing, whatever. Yeah, I don't, you know what I'm saying? But, so I said prayers to bro, you know what I mean? It's just, this is something that, I don't know what caused it. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he's genetically predisposed to it. It's not a genetic thing. Not that I'm aware, at least, you know what I'm saying? Or that I recall, since I went to school to, I should know, but I don't know, but yeah, it's just, it's one of them things, and I'm just like, yo, you know what I mean? Bro, he gotta restructure, you know what I'm saying? Whatever he's doing to clog his lungs, whether he's just, maybe he was standing outside in the cold, just, because, there's a lot of things too, and because it's an infection, by the way, right? So it's like, there's a lot of things. Alcohol could be a huge cause. I could see alcohol being, because alcohol poisoning and things. Maybe it could cause that, or maybe drinking something, maybe smoking something. I don't know. You know what I mean? But whatever. But as I said, hoping speedy recovery, prayers, and yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just everybody value your life, man, and be healthy. Take care of yourself. Stop fucking around. You know what I'm saying? Stop fucking around. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. That's the end of the show, dog. You know what I mean? Don't forget, of course, as I always say, don't forget to follow, subscribe, give a thumbs up, you know what I'm saying? Or basically like, share, all that good stuff, you know what I'm saying? And I, of course, yes, we always do. I'm gonna see you tomorrow for tomorrow's episode. But for today, we are done. Blunt Talk is out, man. I'm peace here.